I learned a biohacking system that's helping to reverse my aging, improve my mood, increase my energy levels, and apparently gives me the ability to speak fluent dolphin. Okay, one of those isn't true. But still, the biohacking community continues to move at lightning speed. Thousands of health technologies and supplements are launched each year. New research is changing how we think about the future, and we're learning more every day about how humans can create at their highest level. Instead of getting completely left behind, I decided to lean in and learn as much as I could. How can we make sense of all the information we consume? What are the best tools to help me gain mastery over my emotions? What do the most productive people in the world have in common? The lessons I learned taught me how to achieve elevated mental performance states and better be of service, and they might help you as well. Also, you learn how to fluently speak dolphin. This all started with just one question. How can I become the best version of myself? Ever since I was young, I've been surprised by just how stressed and anxious I could get. And to this day, if I don't check myself, I can fall back into some old patterns, projecting my stuff into something it simply is not. Among the many experts talking about becoming the best versions of ourselves and unleashing our full potential, there was one approach that seemed very different from the others.
I believe in human possibility, human potential, and I think that one of our biggest limiting beliefs is the belief of how limited we really are. And so my interest is to give people the science to begin to understand how powerful they really are.
Joe Dispenza has spent the past decade perfecting a system to help people step beyond their limitations. He calls it Becoming Supernatural. That's also the name of his book. It's an insanely cool book combining some of the most profound scientific information with ancient wisdom to show how people like you and I can experience a greater expression of their creative abilities. Put another way,
When people show up and they say, well, listen, I understand that I have a health condition. I understand that it's taken me 10 years of being unhappy, 10 years of living in stress, 10 years of living in fear. That's actually begin to signal or select and instruct the gene that creates the disease. Well, it may take me some time then to unlearn that process, to break that conditioning process. So there's a practical understanding now. But something amazing has happened. I mean, we've spent over 10 years doing very advanced scientific studies. We've done over 8,500 brain scans. We've measured so many thousands of hearts, because if you're going to create a new future, it requires a clear intention and elevated emotion. Well, let's train our people how to create really, really high-level brain coherence.
so is this just some woo-woo stuff, or the science really gives us practical tools to instruct our genes for happiness? Well, it turns out when we put the right ingredients in a body, it starts functioning optimally. You can overcome fatigue, stress, anxiety, and find the supernatural version of yourself. When a body isn't functioning optimally, you struggle to alleviate your mood, you're physically not feeling good, you're not aligned with your truth, and you get sick. Taking a look at my own life, I could tell that there was a lot of room for improvement. So with the help of biohackers like Joe Dispenza, Jim Kwik, and Truth Calkins, I went about building a better brain and body of my own. Now, taking a look at my life, I just got into a divorce and was feeling fatigued and uncertain. Alright, so it's time to take the biohackers experts' advice here and change my inner chemistry and my life the best that I can. As I started to more intentionally think about my life, I realized just how messy things had become. Unhealthy marriage, unhealthy diet, no exercise, and no practice to truly organize my thoughts and calm my mind. There were a lot of really important biohack tricks I could do to try to upgrade my body and mind and find happiness. I just needed to find a strategy of organizing the teachings of these biohacking experts into generic micro-habits, like supplements, foods, technologies, exercise. Just going with the flow was not working anymore, so through Truth Calkins, I started learning about this ancient Chinese medicine principle called the three treasures. The Taoist sages who developed Chinese tonic herbalism discovered that a human being is composed of three treasures. The three treasures are called Jing, Qi, and Shen, and they're in essence the fundamental aspects of health and well-being. Jing, translated the essence, is closely associated with our genetic potential and is associated with the aging process. It's our reserves of energy. Jing is believed to govern growth, development, and reproduction. Qi, translated as vital energy, is manifested as our vitality, adaptability, and immune response. It's responsible for movement, transformation, and protection against illness. Shen, translated the spirit, refers to the spiritual and mental aspects of a person, including consciousness, emotions, and the mind. It represents one's higher self, emotional balance, and overall mental health. A harmonious Shen is essential for clarity of thought, emotional stability, and a sense of purpose in life. These three treasures are interconnected and interdependent, and their harmonious balance through proper nutrition and self-care is believed to contribute to overall health, longevity, and to access the happy higher version of ourselves. There's only a few major tonic herbs which can help us nourish these three treasures in abundance. My very three favorites are reishi, schisandra, and gynostemma. Reishi is known as the mushroom of immortality due to its incredible healing properties. As I navigate through examine.com, I discovered trusted scientific articles proving the adaptogenic properties of this mushroom, which means it can help the body adapt to stress and maintain balance. Its potential health benefits include immune system support, improved sleep quality, and anti-inflammatory effects. Reishi is also thought to have antioxidant properties that can help protect cells from damage, support the liver health, and is a promising anti-cancer agent.
Amazing!
It's incredible to meditate after a good dose of quality reishi. It calms the heart and uplifts the mind. I love combining it with the schisandra, which is a berry that has a unique combination of 5 flavors: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and pungent. It has a powerful balancing effect on the body's energy systems and helps the body handle stress more effectively. It also increases energy and enhances mental clarity. It's also considered to have liver protective properties, supports the respiratory system, and improves endurance and physical performance. I also found out about gynostemma, which is also known as an immortality herb. Some call it the miracle grass. Curious to discover for myself the potential of these tonic herbs, I began incorporating them into my daily routine, intrigued by the promises of vitality and longevity they held. For months, I diligently used these herbs on an empty stomach, adding a spoon of coconut oil in the strong elixir and fasting till 3 p.m. daily, all while following my vegetarian lifestyle and eating 1 meal a day for now 6 years.
As time passed, I did indeed feel a subtle shift in my overall health. My sleep improved, my stress levels seemed better managed, and my immune system seemed more resilient. Yet I couldn't help but notice that my energy levels remained somewhat stagnant, especially in the face of my fast-paced life. I was still missing a puzzle piece.
One day, during the podcast between Dr. Will Cole and Catherine Arnston, they enthusiastically mentioned 2 freshwater algae, one called spirulina and the other is called chlorella. They're both renowned for their nutritional density and ability to promote energy. Intrigued, I went to examine.com and began researching the science behind these algae. It appears that they both have an incredible diversity of minerals and vitamins, including B12 and optimal concentrations of iron. They're also high in proteins. In fact, spirulina has 3 times more proteins than a steak. Plus, both these algae are great for the skin and detox from heavy metals in the body.
It was absolutely incredible how about 1 week of incorporating spirulina and chlorella into my daily routine, I experienced a remarkable transformation. My energy levels surged, my mental clarity sharpened, and I found a newfound stamina that seemed to align with my intentions and my active lifestyle. And it was as if these algae had provided me with the missing link that complemented the adaptogenic wonders of reishi, schisandra, and gynostemma. I'll put the link of the best quality brands I found in the description below.
Reflecting on this journey, I realized how the holistic health community tries to oversell supplements to a population which is feeling more and more stressed, fatigued, and depressed. But as my journey continued and after a lot of experimentation and money spent, I discovered how simple it is to achieve peak performance without breaking your wallet. Let's take a look at what my daily routine looks like now after 10 years of experimentation. The first thing I started doing in the morning was set my intentions for each day, pray, and express my gratitudes. I found this practice to be incredibly valuable in helping me live a more intentional life. I then do 15 minutes of breathing exercises. I start with 5 minutes of box breathing, where I inhale for 10 seconds, hold for 10 seconds, exhale for 10 seconds, and then hold for 10 seconds. I find my lung capacity expanding, and as the months go by, I'm able to do the box breathing for longer durations. I follow that by 5 minutes of physiological sigh, which has been proven by Stanford University to outperform meditation in terms of ability to reduce stress and anxiety around the clock. I'm not saying meditation is bad, but for most people it's hard to meditate and quiet their minds, so this exercise has been incredibly valuable for me. after 5 minutes, I moved to my favorite ancient pranayama breathing technique. It's called Brahmari. I place both middle fingers on my closed eye lobes, then place my thumbs on my ears. I take a deep inhale through the nose, and as I exhale everything through the nose with my mouth closed, I make an sound. Humming releases nitric oxide in your nose. Nitric oxide promotes vasodilation, blood flow, and nutrient uptake, and it's antiviral.
Hey, let me know about your experience in the comments below if you have tried any of these breathing exercises for a month daily. Personally, between the breathing exercises and the adaptogenic plants, I've been amazed how I haven't been feeling much stress or anxiety for the past few years, so I'm really curious about your experience.
This elevated state motivated me to get into a daily Ashtanga yoga practice. Depending on how busy I am that day, I either do a 15 minutes yoga practice or an hour. I like the flow in David Swenson's book, and I've been blessed to go to India and study yoga with world-renowned Ashtanga teacher Kamal Singh. I won't go into the details of the different superfoods and supplements I take daily because they're all listed on my website. But not only their potency has allowed me to live healthy on mainly one meal a day for the past 6 years, they also taught me how maintaining a balanced physical chemistry is so key for being more in control of my thoughts and my emotions. And if you're wondering, yes, I also experimented with psychedelics. They have helped me dissolve good chunks of trauma and find more joy in my life. Along the way, I found the process of biohacking myself to be oddly satisfying. And I was starting to realize how my new brain and body can be helpful if I stick with these tricks over time. When there's a place for something, you find more of it, right? When there's a special place for a certain kind of information, you're going to start to notice all these little bits and pieces of information that relate to those intentions. Once you start applying them, which can be by doing breathwork, movements, and diet, things never go back to a black pit. As I got on with my life, I continued to discover other things. As usual, I learned about health technologies that helped offset EMF stress and helped me maintain a state of alertness and relaxation over time. The sweet spot. My 3 favorite health technologies are the V-Light photobiomodulation device, which improves cognitive functions, the PMF sauna mattress, which detoxes the body and is amazing for the skin, and the magnetic bed, which enhances sleep quality, builds jing, speeds up healing, and has anti-aging properties. The combination and discipline of using everything every day is so transcendental. It's like feeling a natural high. I'll put the link of these incredible technologies in the description below. Check them out and let me know what you think in the comments if you love them as much as I do.
So that's pretty cool. Everything seemed to be working in my life a little better. I started moving through life challenges with ease and grace. And really, the most important thing with this upgraded version of myself is discipline. It's really the center of it all.
There's a little bit more to it than this. When there's a harmonious inner chemistry inside your body and brain, discipline comes easy because you get addicted to this elevated state. Having literally changed my life with these practical tools, I discovered that many successful, productive people are into biohacking.
Dietarily, I've always tried to make sure that what I had was as clean as possible to start with. Then I train like a crazy person. I do oxygen restriction training type of thing so that my capacity is strong. But I'm also trying to train so I can literally do 2.5 marathons on a day and another day, another day, another day. For me, the most important thing I think has been for me is, believe it or not, has been a combination of hot and cold temperatures that I use. Like I start every single morning in the freezing water, and I do it for 2 reasons. One is it moves every bit of blood in your body and all your lymph in your system, but also kind of train my brain to say, when I say go, we go.
As I started reading new books and watching more podcasts on longevity and biohacking, I felt more confident I was going to thrive, instead of just being a victim of the survival mainstream mode. I got really intentional about the information I wanted to implement in my life. It was lessons that would help me for years to come. Oh, and another final tool I also discovered was Insight Tracker. Through your blood sample, Insight Tracker provides a personal health analysis and data-driven wellness guide to help you add years to your life and life to your years. The concept is pretty cool, and I love how through your biomarker analysis you can get a customized action plan. You can use my code THRIVETOOLS to save 20% off if you want to try it out. Even though I still haven't used Insight Tracker because it's somewhat of a new discovery and I've already been feeling really good, it's still nice to know about it, and at some point I'd like to know if my biomarkers give any indication on whether I could get rid of the dark circles under my eyes. I had them since I was a kid, and it'll be interesting if I could get them gone. Another Insight Tracker feature in particular that I'm curious about is the groundbreaking AI-driven analysis. It enables you to calculate your inner biological age. These longevity concepts are all somewhat new to me. I know that there are a lot of people that have been using biohacks and stem cells for a very long time, but I'm somewhat of a late adopter when it comes to technologies, so it really feels like I'm catching up on a decade's worth of health tech in this last year alone. The more that I use them, the more I see the benefits. It feels like I'm finally getting my shit together. When someone or something triggers me, I can quickly pull myself up. I even created affirmations to help me become more resilient in certain situations.
And if you pause, you can probably understand why I use these affirmations. It helps me fill my mind with the right thoughts instead of self-sabotaging myself. I'm able to consciously program my mind instead of going with the old program, and every thought makes a difference. One of the big reasons of creating this thought process is that it's intentional, and so we can come back to it when we feel down, when we feel stressed, when we feel anxious, right?
If someone's having a negative, repetitive thought, specifically around self-worth, what they believe they deserve in love, where do they start with that thought?
Well, we think primarily 90% of the time we think the same thoughts as we thought the day before. The challenge with that is the thought that you keep thinking over and over again becomes a belief. And nerve cells that fire together wire together. So the more nerve cells fire, the more they develop long-term relationships, and the more hardwired they become. The more hardwired they become, the more automatic they are. The more automatic they are, the more unconscious they become. So the process of change really requires becoming conscious of your unconscious thoughts, which means just because you have that thought doesn't necessarily mean it's the truth. If you have that thought and you accept it, you believe it, you surrender to it without analyzing it, that thought will lead to the same choice, which will lead to the same behavior, which will create the same experience, which then will produce the same emotion. The same emotions then drive our very same thoughts. In time, our biology, our neurocircuitry, our neurochemistry, our hormones, and even our gene expression stays the same because we're the same. So in the process of change, when you come up against that unconscious belief and you make it conscious, most people get uncomfortable when they confront that thought. And they're stopping an automatic process. And the body, which has been conditioned to be the mind because it's doing something over and over again, that's a habit, is craving the experience because it wants the emotion associated with it, right? So the thought of being unworthy produces the feeling of being unworthy. That feeling then, when the person feels unworthy, tends to cause the person to think more unworthy thoughts. It only takes a thought and a feeling, an image of yourself and an emotion, a stimulus and response, and you can condition the body to memorize that behavior and that emotional state better than the conscious mind.
So much of destroying thought processes and habits today are about tools. Every day there's a new technique, new supplement, new technology that you apparently need to have, but I found that it's less about the tools and more about how you use them.
And that's why I stopped wasting my time trying a dozen different supplements or technologies after a 10-year biohacking journey. There's something to be said about sticking with the basics and just doing the work. And that's the advice that you should take if you want to build an optimal brain and body for yourself. Start with something too simple, like incorporating superfoods and ancestral longevity adaptogenic herbs, and then wait. Wait till you get used to their effect. Wait till you try to do something with them. And if it's actually not good enough, it's not powerful enough, it's not specific enough, that's the moment that it's time to move to something a little more powerful, like a plant medicine or a health technology. Or you may find yourself like moving directly to an expensive customizable option like Insight Tracker, and then a little voice in your head, a little feeling says, I'd rather spend that money into something I'm 100% sure is going to benefit me. That's not only an allowable approach, that's the most intuitive approach. It's organic, it's bottom up in response to how your life is changing.
Find everything that I talked about in this video, including the quality superfoods and technologies that I mentioned, in the description below. And please subscribe for more deep dive videos into self-development. Thank you for watching.